Imagine you're at a train station, waiting for a train that could take you to an incredible destination. You watch people rushing by, some anxiously checking their watches, others just passing the time. The truth is, just like in this scenario, life is full of choices and opportunities. However, sometimes we postpone important decisions, thinking we will always have more time. But what if tomorrow is already too late? We live in a world that teaches us to prioritize our ambitions and desires. It's natural to want to plan for the future, dream of achievements, and seek personal fulfillment. Yet amid all this, we forget what should truly come first: our faith and the will of God. Have you ever stopped to think about how many times you've set aside what really matters to chase after what seems urgent? The reality is that when we put God ahead of our plans, we find not only direction, but also peace. How many times have you felt lost among so many decisions to make? Life is brief and full of uncertainties. If we don't take the initiative to seek divine guidance, we may end up drifting away from the purpose we were meant to fulfill. It's an invitation to reflect. How have you been putting your plans into action? By seeking God, might you discover a much more rewarding and secure path. By prioritizing our faith, we allow God to enter our lives and guide our choices. This doesn't mean we won't face difficulties. Rather, it means we will face challenges with the assurance that we are not alone. Today, I invite you to reflect on your plans and ask yourself, am I putting God ahead of my decisions? Tomorrow may be uncertain, but the urgency to seek God is real. May we commit together to make this pursuit a priority, allowing faith to lead us to a future filled with purpose and meaning. Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. This passage, found in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 33, reminds us of the importance of prioritizing the search for a life that reflects God's will. When we put faith first, we are actually making room for other areas of our lives to be blessed. Often, we allow ourselves to be consumed by the worries and anxieties of everyday life, forgetting that if we focus on what is essential, the rest will be added. Seeking God is not just an act of faith, but a lifestyle that leads us to wiser and more fulfilling decisions. How would your life change if you truly put God first? Why not start that change right now? O Lord, I come before you with a sincere heart, acknowledging that many times I have put my own plans ahead of what is truly important. I ask for forgiveness for the times I have failed to seek your will, getting lost in ambitions and worries. Your mercy is infinite, and I trust that even when I falter, you are ready to forgive me and guide me once again. Help me to be more attentive to your signs and to place faith above all else. May I learn to discern your will in every decision I make, always seeking your presence in my life. O God, I come to you with gratitude in my heart. In this moment, I recognize the countless blessings you have poured upon my life. I thank you for health, for family, and for the friends who surround me. I also thank you for the lessons I have learned in difficult times, for I know they have shaped me and brought me closer to you. May I never lose the ability to see the wonders around me, and may my life be a reflection of your love. Help me to live with a grateful spirit, always seeking your presence in every step I take. May each day be a new opportunity to praise your name and share your goodness with others. Life is like smoke, which appears for a moment and then dissipates. This passage, found in the letter of James, chapter 4, verse 14, reminds us of the brevity of our existence. Life is fleeting, and often we let ourselves get caught up in routine, forgetting what truly matters. What are we doing with the time we have? Are we taking each moment to seek your will and live with purpose? Remember, life is ephemeral, but our choices have an eternal impact. By recognizing that our journey is brief, we are called to live with intention, prioritizing what truly matters. Have you ever stopped to think about how you have been using your time? Are you focusing on achieving temporary goals while ignoring the spiritual calling that echoes in your heart? As we reflect on our mortality, we find an invitation to seek God in every aspect of our lives. The urgency of putting God ahead of our plans is not just a decision, but an attitude that transforms our perspective on everything around us. What do you want to leave as a legacy? Why not start living in a way that reflects the faith you claim to have? By putting God first, we are not only making the wisest choice, but also opening doors to a full and meaningful life. Tomorrow may be uncertain, but the urgency to live for God is clear and necessary. Once Jesus told the parable of the rich fool. He was a man who had great harvests, and upon seeing the abundance, he decided to build larger barns to store his goods. He thought to himself that he could relax, eat, and enjoy life. However, that very night, God told him that his life would be demanded of him, and all that he had accumulated would be of no use. This story, found in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verses 16 to 21, teaches us about the futility of accumulating wealth without considering what truly matters. What do we gain on our journey if we set aside the greater purpose that has been given to us? The man prioritized his possessions, but lost sight of what truly makes life meaningful. As we reflect on this, we are invited to think, are we building our lives on solid foundations or on temporary goods that will not accompany us into eternity? The parable warns us about the urgency of putting God first in our lives. When we focus solely on our ambitions and goals, we risk losing the essence of what it means to live. Tomorrow is uncertain, and the time we have is precious. We need to make choices that reflect our faith and bring us closer to the purpose that God has for us. May we learn to value what truly matters, not just for ourselves, but also for those around us. O Lord, at this moment, I come to you with an open and sincere heart. I ask that you help me recognize your will in every decision I make. May I have the wisdom to discern what is truly important and not be swayed by the distractions of the world. Help me to put your plans ahead of my own, always seeking what pleases you. May I not forget that life is brief and that each day is an opportunity to live for you. Strengthen my faith so that I can face challenges with confidence and courage. May I always seek your path and through my choices, glorify your name. Once upon a time, there was a man who lived his life in a hurry, always chasing after his goals and dreams. He worked long hours, believing that, in the end, it would all be worth it. One day, he encountered a friend he hadn't seen in years. The friend, who had put his faith first, shared stories of how his life had changed. He spoke of moments of prayer, gratitude, and how each day was an opportunity to do something meaningful. The man listened, but he was so focused on his own plans that he didn't realize how much he was missing. As time passed, he began to feel empty. Despite his achievements, joy seemed scarce. One night, while reflecting on his life, he remembered his friend and the words he had heard. He realized he had neglected his faith in pursuit of material accomplishments. In a moment of sincerity, he decided to open up to God and ask for help. With a light heart, he began to place God ahead of his plans. Gradually, peace and joy began to return to his life. He learned that by prioritizing faith, he not only found direction, but also a purpose that truly fulfilled him. This story teaches us that often, the distractions of everyday life can lead us away from what truly matters. By putting God first, we find a purpose that guides us and brings us satisfaction. It is never too late to change the course of our lives and choose to live according to divine will. The biblical passage accompanying us now is, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding." Proverbs 3:5. This citation invites us to reflect on the importance of trusting God in all our decisions. Often we are tempted to rely solely on our own wisdom and understanding. However, true wisdom lies in recognizing that God has a greater plan for us, a plan that may go beyond our limited vision. When we fully trust in God, we open up space for Him to guide our steps. This trust allows us to face life's challenges with courage and serenity, knowing that we are not alone. By surrendering our plans to Him, we find a safe path that leads us to a future full of hope. May we remember this passage in every decision we make, always seeking divine guidance and building a life grounded in faith. O Lord, at this moment, I come to you with a sincere and open heart. I surrender my life, my plans, and my dreams into your hands. I acknowledge that many times I have tried to walk my path alone, without seeking your guidance. I ask that you help me place your will above everything I do. May I see my life as an offering to you, always wishing to be an instrument in your hands. Help me live with purpose, seeking your glory in every action. May I trust that by surrendering my plans to you, I will find the peace and direction I so long for. May each day remind me that true fulfillment comes from following you and aligning with your purposes. The teachings of Jesus are a precious guide for our lives. On one occasion, he told us, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." This passage is found in the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 6. In this teaching, Jesus shows us that by following his steps, we find not only direction but also the truth that transforms our lives. Life may present us with many options and paths, but it is only through him that we can experience true fulfillment and purpose. When we place Jesus at the center of our decisions, we not only find clarity, but also the strength needed to face challenges. Therefore, may we always seek the wisdom that comes from your Son, knowing that he is the answer to all the questions we have. O God, at this moment I come to you with a grateful heart, recognizing your presence in my life. I ask you to help me put faith ahead of all my decisions. May I feel your guidance in every step I take, especially in moments of doubt and uncertainty. Help me to fully trust in you and not rely solely on my own understanding. May my journey be guided by your wisdom and love. May I be a reflection of your light in the world, living in harmony with your purposes. Amen. Today we reflect on the urgency of putting God ahead of our plans. Life is a precious gift, and each day is an opportunity to align our actions with what truly matters. May we remember that by prioritizing faith, we find not only direction, but also a purpose that transforms our lives. May God's blessing be upon each of us, guiding our steps and strengthening our faith. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your comment. We want to know, how have you been seeking to put God first in your life? Daily we have new prayer videos to encourage and strengthen your spirituality. Join us on this journey of faith.